So yeah, Kings of None kind of started with me and Will having conversations and figuring, you know what, more people need to listen to us.
We know just as much as everybody else, so
we kind of get a kick out of ourselves. But the title Kings of None itself is kind of an interesting title. How exactly did we?
Right. So how it came out of basically the common term jack of all trades, master of none. We both, for a little while anyway, thought it was jack of all trades, kings of none, and like you told me that, and I believed it for a good half hour. Before I was like, wait, I think it's not that. I think it's the masters of none. I was like, oh, but kings of none is better. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it is.
But I was pretty sure that it was Kings of None. I knew, you know.
Right. I was convinced that you were convinced for sure. And I think that sold it on me for a while. I was like, oh, yeah, that must be right. That's perfect. I can't believe nobody else has that. It's because it's not real. But that's fine.
It's funny because we always end up going to Google. We'll let Google settle this.
Right.
And I could see when you were correcting me that you knew, but you didn't have the heart to tell me I was wrong.
I didn't like it at all. I wasn't happy about it.
Yeah, I think it kind of sums us up. Well, at least sums me up in a nutshell. Because I definitely have this thing where I kind of believe that I'm right about things even when I'm probably wrong. But it's just more fun in life to just go with it, you know?
You believe it, so it's true. I mean, I get it. I get it for sure. Like, I mean, I believed you. I wanted to believe you were right, at least about this. I don't know. There's about other things, I guess not. But in this instance, I was going with you.
I mean, there was the Jamaican friend incident at church.
Sure.
We had what was it? It was a Jamaican night.
So we had a fundraiser. I was going on a missions trip to Jamaica, so we had a spaghetti dinner. So you brought your Jamaican friend because you thought he'd be into it because we were going back to his homeland.
Right. Good buddy of mine, Alex, who at the time I had worked with for maybe 7-8 years. Hung out outside of work. He went to my wedding. Really good friend. Birthday parties together, stuff like that. The whole time, I knew he was Jamaican. He definitely was Jamaican. There was no doubt about it. He listened to reggae music. He was an African-American gentleman. So yes, we had the Jamaican night at the church, and I knew he's Jamaican night. Let's get this thing together. Let's get this thing going.
Right, makes perfect sense.
Right. Invited him there. He's there for maybe half an hour eating food, talking. I don't know how we got into it. It's basically like you enjoying this Jamaican night. And I'm like, I think I introduced him to Will.
Yeah, I think that's when it happened. Because I know I was there when this all happened.
And I'm like, oh, this is my buddy Alex. He's from Jamaica. And he's like, oh, what are you talking about, man? You're from Jamaica, right? Nah, man, I'm from St. Croix. Nah, you're from Jamaica, Alex.
Jamaica. Right.
But yeah, that was pretty bad.
That's pretty accurate.
Yep.
That's how that goes. I mean, it's fine.
And that's Kings of None.
Right. So that's how we come up with a name. Is we believe something that's not true, and then we make it true. So we make it a thing.
So
that's all. So yeah, I mean, one thing we want to do with our podcast is like this. So like the real term is jack of all trades, master of none. So we want to go into like figures of speech are just cool because hardly anybody knows where they come from. They just use them blindly. And I mean, I do it all the time, but sometimes it bugs me and I catch myself and I want to know what it's from. So this one doesn't have a great origin story. I mean, I know it's from the 14th century, but the funny thing with this expression, like jack of all trades by itself, is seen as it's a positive thing. Like you were initially the term it was just jack of all trades, so it was a positive thing in that you were good at lots of things. Then they added the master of none to make it not as nice a connotation that you weren't good enough to be really good at something. You were just kind of pretty good at a lot of things. And then, so then it was elongated, and I already forget the guy's name, so that's bad on me, but to Jack of all trades, master of none. And now I forget even how it goes, but basically the end was that, but sometimes it's better to be master of none. Now it can go either way. Like, people use it both ways now. It can be positive or negative. So I don't know. It's just funny to me.
It is funny. I like that you did the research on that.
Yeah, really good research. I don't remember any of it, but that's fine.
Because if you were going to ask me the definition, I was just going to totally bro science it and just kind of wing it. But yeah, that sounds legit. So 14th century? Is that what you said?
14th century. It was in a poem, and the dude, it's bad to not know, but the dude was actually dissing William Shakespeare in it. Before
Really?
Shakespeare blew up, if that's how they talk back then.
Yeah, so the joke was on him.
Right. All right. It's John Gower. Google saves the day again. So, Middle English poem, Confesso Emeritus. From
So wait, he was dissing
1390.
William Shakespeare?
Yeah.
But who was this guy?
He was a poet. He was probably just bigger then. Of course, I don't know.
He was just hating though, right?
Right. He didn't realize that. No. The truth was coming out. When Shakespeare was about to just own the scene, right?
Right. He didn't know. I mean, Shakespeare had the whole poetry and
from what I read at the time, Shakespeare was an actor starting to write. Like, he hadn't fully gotten into it yet. He was just an actor. So this guy was a writer. Like, you can't hang with me. But he can, because he's Shakespeare. So I don't know.
But I mean, he did come up with that saying, so that's something.
Right, and that stuck. So that's the thing.
I'm surprised Shakespeare didn't just like it and just incorporate it into one of his stories or something.
He didn't have to roll like that. He came up with plenty of his own things. He came up with so many things that I've never believed he was really one guy.
Right.
He gets a lot of things attributed to him. I mean, I know there's a lot of sayings attributed to him that aren't really, which is what we'll get into, I'm sure.
Right, like his reputation preceded him kind of thing.
Right, like, that must be Shakespeare.
Right.
Because it's good.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Could be a combination of... Right, different people, almost like a lore, like Ragnar.
Right, like Ragnar.
Right?
Like our boy Ragnar.
Yeah. But that's another thing where I just want to believe every single thing is true.
Right.
You know?
I definitely want to believe Ragnar was real. And that he did all those things.
Right.
Like, I mean, I know we both watch Vikings, and I know we both want to believe that. And I know that a lot of the characters were real people, but they're not quite, they weren't always in the same time. They weren't like, there's a lot of liberties taken, but still.
Right.
I want to believe that it's pretty accurate.
I just love the idea of Vikings or any man and really that was just savage like that.
Right?
You know?
Just kind of did what he wanted, took what he wanted. And if you don't, we just fight about it. Like, that's all. It's cool. It's
pretty simple.
Right. You can not let me, but we're going to fight. Like, they're all likes to fight guy.
All likes to fight guy.
Every single one of them. Like, the weakest one. Like, even on the show, the cripple is the most savage one. Like,
right. Even the guys that you don't think are likes to fight guy are kind of likes to fight guy.
Right.
Like
well, yeah, like the worst ones aren't likes to fight guy amongst the other Vikings because they're not stupid. But against anybody else, the worst one is the best one. Like, it's the worst guy in the NBA can demolish anybody in town. Like,
they're playing in a different league.
Right.
You're right. That's a good way to look at it.
Ryan Scalabrine could come and light up the Y down here if he wanted to, and nobody could ever touch him.
And that's what it was like when the Vikings went to England. Yeah. Man. Ryan Scalabrine.
I don't know who more current horrible players are.
I wonder if that's the first time Brian Scalabrine's been mentioned on any podcast.
I don't know. He's kind of overloved in Boston when he came here, but so I feel like people like Scal. I don't get it, but I mean, just because he hits random, like, I feel like I can do what he can do, except I know I can't really, but that's what it looks like.
You definitely have a better skill set. All he has on you is like 5 inches, right?
And he just stands in the corner and shoots threes. Right. He kind of gets rebounds just because he's big, but...
Could he dunk?
I'm sure at one point, but I could at one point. Like, that's not... Right, he probably could for a longer stretch because he had 5 inches. Like, if I had 5 inches, I would still be dunking too.
Right. If you had 5 inches, you would have been a better NBA player than Brad Scalabrine. If I was 6'10",
I'll take it.
Oh my goodness.
I'll take that. But at 5, height is all that held me back from being an NBA guy. I'm not sure that's accurate, but I will take that and run with it all day. So,
in case anybody was wondering, Will definitely is a great basketball player.
Easy. Yeah, I'm ready for any over 40 league. That's about all I'm running with now. I'm scared to death of the dudes at the 20-year-olds at the Y now. So,
who's calling you? What is it? The Simply Divine pizza? Is that what we see in the?
Yeah, if I could drive to Falmouth and get in that over 40 league, I think it's Steve's is good. Simply Divine's not so good. So, I mean, we keep up on the Falmouth over 40 league. So, I hope those guys don't think they're not loved way out here. So. We're in Rhode Island, so we...
If anyone's listening.
Right. Just know, we're aware.
That's right. You need someone to come up there and pull some jerseys. Some tripping.
Right. Little holds here and there. Like, I have all that old man game. My dad taught me that at a really young age because he started using it way sooner than he had to. Just because he liked to be mean to people.
What do you mean? He was like old man game in like early 30s?
Yeah, he could still go pretty good. I mean, he played it to his 60s, so he's going to last a lot longer than I did anyway, so maybe he was just onto something. That's like his conditioning. If I start playing old now, I can elongate my career 20 years more than I have to.
That's pretty clever.
Right. Whereas I kind of closed it in. I'm good.
Who do you think now in the NBA has a semblance of old man game?
It's tough because they don't let big guys be like big guys anymore. Like,
that's right. The league is different now.
So, like, a big man now is really thin and
it plays out in the wing and
plays can shoot, like, can stretch defenses. Like, so it's somebody that has to hang under the basket. Like maybe Tyson Chandler.
That's good, yeah. But there's no more like
he's not old.
Joe Kleins or
right. They just don't last.
Right.
I mean, who's the dude? Who's the dude in OKC? Although he's pretty athletic though, but Scott Adams. Is it Scott?
Sam Adams.
No, that's the beer.
Oh no.
Maybe it's Sam.
It's Sam Adams.
It is the beer. It is really. No, you believe it.
It's true.
You want to believe it? Okay.
He has a cool mustache, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He does have that.
No, what? Is
but right,
Scott
I'm thinking
Adams?
like everybody I keep thinking of is out of the league. I think like Scott Pollard's gone. They have man, this is horrible. Who's the other white? Who's the other guy in OKC? He played at UConn.
Oh.
He played there forever. Like
was he a white guy?
He was a Sonic. Like he moved with them.
He goes back to them?
Yeah. If he's still there, he's definitely
a white guy.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of who else is out there that's any good. I think,
not Chris Kaman?
No, but if he's around, he's definitely got to be Captain. We used to call him Captain K-Man 10 years ago. So if he's still kicking,
right? He's got that kind of classic center type.
Yeah. He's not a handsome fellow. Sorry. Don't come after me.
He's not. Can you be a good NBA team and have one of those guys?
One of those guys?
Is this just not serviceable anymore?
No, I think you can. Like, I think there's still a place. It's harder for them. I think it's hard. It would be hard for those guys to get minutes because there's so much placed on offense now. Everybody has to be able to score. Like it's the problem. Like, all right, so we're in Rhode Island, so obviously, the Celtics, that's the problem with the Celtics right now. They only have one guy that can score. Everybody else, they can defend, but you have to be able to score, and that's what's going to hold them back. Like, once the Celtics hit the playoffs, currently constituted, they're going to lock down Isaiah, and there's no one, like, they don't have a plan B.
Right.
All these other teams go like 4 or 5 deep, guys that you can't, you have to play. I mean, so it's hard, like, but in the same way, like I feel the Celtics could use that guy though. The Celtics are very deficient in a big white guy to rebound.
Right. I mean, in the playoffs, it's going to get gritty. It's going to get tough.
Right, because that's when you can play. Like, if you can get to the playoffs, like LeBron takes all these games off because he doesn't care. Like, he just wants to get to the playoffs. Or the Spurs, they used to rest everybody. Like Tim Duncan had old man game. He's gone now. Like
That's true. He did have old man.
He definitely did. Right. He had all those hooks and banks and weird, like
2-inch vertical
doing
leap.
weird things. Every once in a while, he would run, and you'd be like, "Oh, look at that! He can still do that!" Like you're surprised when he can dunk, even though he's like 7 feet tall almost. Like
I don't think he's ever dunked on anyone.
It's been a while, right?
Yeah.
And they were never great. I mean, but he used to, like, because you're just hanging on. He could put back over people and dunk on them, and he did that weird like wingspan thing. So he could hammer on people once in a while. But I don't know when the last time was. Now it's all bank shots.
Bank shot was nasty though.
Because nobody expects that.
Did you see? I think this just happened either today or last night. But LeBron got into it with Charles Barkley.
Oh no, I didn't.
Barkley,
but I want to know.
I don't know the details of it, but I guess Barkley was dissing LeBron for complaining about not having the help that he needs. You know, LeBron's been going off about he needs more help. He needs the score. Needs this and that.
I know him and the owner have been going at it, I guess.
So I guess LeBron fired back at Barkley and was like, "Who is he? To talk about me?" And he's just a guy on TV. And I guess Barkley says something else about how when I played, we weren't all friends with each other like you guys are nowadays.
It's true. I missed that.
I agree. But then LeBron had pointed to some random game where Barkley and Jordan were laughing at the free throw line or something like that together. And
it had to be late. They didn't like each other at first.
No, not at all. And I mean, who knows what they were saying? I mean, they could have been smiling, but saying some kind of...
That could be talking trash, right? That could be horrible stuff disguised behind a smile. I'm pretty sure Jordan was not nice to anybody on the court. Maybe after.
Kill you and stomp your guts, for sure.
Right. He's trying to kill you, and then after the game, you might want to go out and hang. Like, I get that he was that kind of guy.
Definitely.
But, I don't think...
But
Barkley probably said something that actually got to him a little bit and made him laugh. But you couldn't crack Jordan.
No, not at all. That whole exchange got me thinking about the jersey swap thing in the NFL that I've seen.
I know that's your favorite.
By favorite, you mean not favorite.
but insert sarcasm.
But it's the whole thing, and I see it a lot on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and it's at the end of a game, the opposite players, one from the winning team, one from the losing team, switch jerseys in the NFL, and it drives me crazy.
Right, I can't imagine doing that.
Crazy, and like I've actually tried to troll these people a little bit on Instagram, and I remember seeing one with Todd Gurley, and I forgot who else. One of the teams that destroyed the Rams this year.
There's plenty of them, so it's hard to pinpoint.
So anyways, I saw it. I posted, here we go, another jersey swap for a team that just decimated you.
Right.
Then everybody's writing underneath it, it's called sportsmanship, bro, and, something to remember, and this and that. I'm like, oh my goodness. And
no, that's not right.
I mean, I only played high school football, but I could never imagine wanting to swap jerseys or just I was mad. I was, we lost and I was mad. So mad that I almost wanted to cry.
Right. And even if you won, though, you're still not friends.
No.
You're not happy. You're still bad guys. There's bad guys over there.
Bad guys.
I don't want anything to do with those cats. It's the same kind. If we're out at Jersey, if we're not playing, maybe. But if I know you, I remember every sharp elbow I ever got, and I know all those cats. I still have a list in my head of people that deserve a little beating under the basket from me.
I just don't understand. These guys are playing for millions. There's money on the line. You're competitive.
Right.
I mean, if I was to play you right now one-on-one and you beat me, which you would, I'm going to be a little salty after.
Be cool for a half hour. Right.
Right. I mean, it's not going to end the friendship, but I'm not,
No, but it's not cool. I know.
I'm thinking about what can I do to try and beat you next time.
All right, so I see what happened here. You're running the film back in your head. I get it. That's how it should be.
Right. They're just every sport, and Barkley's right. In the NBA, these guys you see them before the game or after the game, and they're friends, and
Right.
You know, this and that, and this. Come on, man.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
It's hard. I don't understand it, and I don't know when that happened. I mean, I think a lot of it, what I've heard explained, which I makes some sense. I don't want it to make sense, but I get it. Like, a lot of these guys, basketball especially, because it is so, like, basketball to me is the hardest in that the team is the smallest of all the professional sports. So there's only 32 teams. There's only 15 guys on a team. That's a really small number of guys. So these guys since high school have been playing in
so it's a little more
all-star
intimate
games together. And
yeah.
maybe they were from the same city. Guys go to the same school or played each other in college. Like, I mean,
right.
I get that. I still wouldn't do it, I don't think, but
so they form that bond a little bit early
right.
on. Whereas football is a little more spread out. Yeah, guys from
right.
Yeah.
Right. But football, there's so many more guys. I feel like it's not like there's a lot more national tournament, McDonald's All-American games and AAU and all that stuff.
Right.
Like, even the little bit that I did with that, I knew a lot of people from that. I mean, they were all way better than me, so they went on to things that I just kind of stayed home. But still,
so I could maybe let that slide
a little
with basketball, but football's a gladiator sport. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like Patrice O'Neal said, they're letting you out there with a bunch of killers.
Exactly. Like, if you were just trying to take my head off for an hour and a half, I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep my jersey because I got some blood on it that you knocked out of me. Like, I don't think that's cool.
Oh, not at all.
So, no, I get it for sure. Like if anything, and yeah, we can get as much hate for this, but I can understand it in baseball because I feel like those guys can all be friends. It doesn't even matter.
Right, I mean, that's...
It's barely
baseball,
even competitive.
I mean, my thing with baseball is definitely it takes skill, but it's just like...
But you're like...
In a way, it's kind of like a glorified backyard sport. Like, you could do if you have a big field, like a barbecue.
Right.
I don't know.
Wiffle ball is just as good as baseball. I don't get it.
Definitely.
But... No, I mean, I get that they compete, but it's just not. There's no contact. Like, basketball's not a contact sport, but there's plenty of contact. Like, baseball, you get in trouble if you touch the unless you're tagging them. You're in trouble. Like, you're doing something wrong. So you're really playing the ball. Like,
right.
Can I hit this stupid thing that this guy is throwing at me as hard as he can? Like, I'm not mad at a pitcher because he's striking me. I mean, I get mad that I strike out.
You don't even hardly have to move in baseball.
But I'm not afraid of the guy.
No.
Or mad at him. Like,
no.
All right, you got me.
Well, there is fights in baseball.
There's fight. The only time you really see it is like when people get hit.
Right.
Because they're throwing a ball 100 miles an hour at you. Like, you better be able to control that thing.
Right.
I mean, I understand that, but it's because. So that's the contact. I feel like the more contact, the less you should be friends.
Exactly. That's my thing with the jersey here. Exactly.
So when they get hit with baseballs, they get really mad because we don't hit each other. That's part of it. Like, hey, this isn't part of the game. What are you doing? You start brushing each other. Like, I get all that, and that's real. And
right.
But yeah,
that's crazy.
Like, I don't know. If you get in the way in the base pads, they give you the there's no. You just, the ball is the bad guy. Like, if I can't hit it, if I can't catch it, that's what you get mad at. If I drop it, it's the ball. Like, they all hate the ball. They don't hate the other team.
Baseball player, I'm getting mad because I spent 3 hours of my life and I didn't even move. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. If you're a DH and let's say you walk 3 times, strike out another, you didn't even move the whole game. You don't even need to shower at the end of it.
And if you're DH, you're probably good at hitting home runs. So if you hit a home run and get walked a couple times, first at bat you hit a home run. So the next time they walk you, they don't want you to do that again.
Right. You didn't even do it. So you
literally are walking to first base. I mean, nobody expects you to be super fast if you're a DH.
Nope.
So the next guy gets a hit. You can run as hard as you want, but it's still 90 feet, right?
You don't have to break a sweat.
You don't have to.
You're done. Take the uniform off.
Right. And just leave.
That's it.
Do they have showers in baseball? I guess they have showers.
I don't even think they must not really need them though.
I don't know. Maybe if you play in Arizona and it's like 100 degrees and you're just out in the sun for 3 hours, like there's a little endurance to that. But baseball, I don't know.
So I guess we decided baseball is only a half sport.
I guess so, which was unplanned, but it happens. True feelings come out when the microphone's on. So,
did you end up seeing any of the Cerrone versus Masvidal?
I still haven't.
Highlights of fight?
But I need to.
Disappointing.
Because I saw
both big Cerrone fans.
UFC Unleashed or whatever that Fox Sport one show is. Like I saw that. I made my man Dan DVR it for me, and I was supposed to go see it Monday. I didn't really feel great, so I didn't go do that. So I don't know. I haven't got to see it yet. I will see it, even though now that I know, I don't know how much I want to, but I'll still watch it. But I feel like from watching that Unleashed and seeing, even hearing him talk about the guy he's fighting, like he didn't take him serious enough.
No, and that is painfully
and it showed, right?
Yes,
yeah,
totally didn't.
Because he even says in that show, like he does the same things I do, but I do them all better. So I feel like we shouldn't be seeing shots of him like duck hunting or whatever he was doing.
He was too.
While the other guy's like running up mountains and stuff.
Right, that's what he was doing. He was ready.
Right,
and this other guy is like.
Who was it?
Jorge Masvidal. He was an ex-street baller from the streets of Miami. And
already bad.
Cerrone's duck hunting.
Right.
And not watching film. He said he didn't watch any film on him.
That's good.
Right. I mean, someone's trying to kill you. Like,
right.
For real. Trying to take your head off.
Is. There's a chance.
Trained assassins.
Right. Like the most dangerous people in sports. It's called a combat sport. Like, I don't know. Because... Right, you have to assume your career can end at each fight.
It's not like losing a basketball game where you just go home a little salty. Or even
football, where like the worst thing that's probably going to happen is you get concussed. In a really rare, you might break a bone.
But UFC guys are trying to knock your temple off,
right,
and light you on fire.
Right, pretty much. Like
you have to watch some film.
That's the point of the game. Right. If you want to break it down to game, the idea is to knock you out or hurt you bad enough that you give up.
Right, so you're tapping out.
Not like right.
Oh my
Nobody
goodness.
expects it. Nobody wants to go the distance.
So he comes out there, and you could tell right away that maybe he didn't prepare because he's getting outboxed. He's looking thrown off. He gets dropped at the end of the first round and is pretty much done, but he gets saved by the bell. So he comes to the corner and he's out of it. His trainer's talking to him and he's like, Donald, you got to move your head. Donald, you got to move your head. So when he's like not answering, he's like, can you repeat what I just said, dude? And he basically mumbles, move my head.
Ugh.
Comes back out, gets lit up again for 30 seconds, and that's it. End of story.
It's terrible.
Should have watched some tape.
Probably should have trained a little harder. Or at least knew your opponent a little better, I guess.
And the worst part of the whole thing was he had brought his grandma out for the fight.
Cerrone did?
Yeah.
Because he thought it was in the bag already.
Yeah, he thought it was...
He was like, yeah, grandma, you can come to this one. I'm not even going to break a sweat.
Right, watch this.
That's horrible. Insult to injury, because you don't want to disappoint your grandma.
Right. Imagine just getting beat up in front of your grandma.
Right. That's horrible. Somehow that's worse than getting beat up in front of your mom. I don't know why. Because I feel like because grandparents have this glorified image of you. They don't know your parents do.
Right.
Right,
your parents know all your family.
They know everything.
Right. They know you kind of suck sometimes.
If my dad came to a basketball game and I played really good, at the end it was still man, you really left a few points out there today, huh? Or you weren't really rebounding today. We won by 15, man. I dropped 25. What?
Right.
Yeah, you really play defense. But if my grandmother, she wanted to give me money, right?
You want to give?
I didn't know. I had no idea you could do that.
Right. My grandma thinks I own the Newport Daily News.
That's awesome.
Right. Right, she thinks I'm in charge of, whatever stories are going in there. Can I write something about this?
It is funny to work for that. I feel everybody thinks that. So, because we both work at the Newport Daily News, we both work in the press room, we're both printing papers. We work on a printing press. Everybody thinks we write the paper. Like me too.
Right, I'm a writer.
Oh, you're a writer? Oh, did you write anything I've read? No. I already said I work in the press room. I get you don't know what that means, but...
Nope, you're a writer.
You're a writer. If you work at a newspaper, all they do is write.
Yeah.
The paper becomes a paper magically. Like, it just happens. All you do is write stories.
In the paper?
You push send on your computer, and a paper comes out at people's houses. Fair. Yeah, there's no... Really, like, 4 people do that in the whole room, and like 25 people are in the press room and in the mail room,
which is
getting
pretty
the actual paper out. But hey, everyone thinks like that handful of people in the newsroom is everyone that works there.
I always wonder what's happening in there. Are they all grabbing a paper?
I don't know. I don't know what happens. I don't know what goes on. Only in our little room. It's the only thing I've ever known. Like, I don't want to know anything else. Just forget I'm here. Let me do my job, and we're cool. Like, I like what I do.
I just like that I hear occasional rap music back there. Someone yelling.
I know, that's kind of died down a little, but right, there used to be screaming and like, right? Like really random, like
what's happening?
Right. Like that time that we had a guy get hurt. He was actually trapped between a truck and he had a pallet on a pallet jack, and he fell in between, and the pallet hit him, and he was screaming like in pain. We thought it was just them being crazy and acting up.
I thought for sure, though, when I heard that maybe the limb got severed.
Right, because it was horrible. But at first, I was like, man, they're really going at it today. But then it didn't stop.
Just another day in the mill.
Right. But after it kept going a little too long, which is unfortunate because that means he was there.
Because nobody ran to help him in.
So then I headed to I was like, wait. So then I listened a little hard. I was like, actually, that's not even in the mail room. That's over on the... So then I ran out there, but... But right, I don't know what happens in there. It's like a jungle in there. Because it seems like there's way too many. Like I'm sure that they are all needed, but it seems like there's way too many people all the time.
Right.
There's music's going. Everybody has food. Like they're always like people are always eating. Like stuff's getting delivered all times of night.
But they're hardworking guys.
Oh no, they're right. That's what I mean. Like I know things are getting done. Obviously, it's working. However,
from our
there's
perspective,
a lot going on back there. We watch a machine; they have to actually physically do stuff. I get that, but it seems crazy sometimes. It depends on what kind of mood I'm in, I guess.
Oh man! Yeah, back to the grandmother thing though. It's so
poor Cerrone's grandma.
But I just know my grandma comes around and she knows I like to lift weights, so it's... You look at your muscles. You're so big. Right? And it's like...
Grandmas are
Thank
great.
you, Grandma. So I can imagine what it must have been like for Cerrone to just get dropped. Like, it's rocking her world, too.
Right. Yeah. That had to be what it was. He was like, this was an easy one. I'll bring Grandma to this one. Cause
he brought her out to the weigh-in. She had a UFC hat on and everything. It didn't fit right.
Good for her. Does she look like she could fight? Because I feel like everybody in the family's probably tough.
I mean, she was old. She was.
Oh, really?
She was at least 89.
All right.
She was up there. She shouldn't have been out there. That's for sure.
You don't want to see this. Especially not your grandson getting knocked around. Yeah, no, I don't like that.
Oh, man.
Poor Grandma Cerrone. Oh man! But what I'm really excited for is my man, and I only know about him from that same UFC. I hope it's on UFC Unleashed. I don't know. It's on Fox Sports 1, but the French heavyweight guy, what his name is?
Francis Ngannou.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Because I want to call him the Nigerian Nightmare, which I know is wrong. Because that's Kamala, right? That's the old wrestler.
No, that's Christian Okoye.
Oh, it's Christian Okoye?
But it could be Kamala.
Oh, what was he?
Kamala was... What was
Besides being actually from, like, Mississippi.
The fact that he wasn't from Africa.
He wasn't from Africa. I was sad that day that I found that out.
His real name
when
was
I was a little kid. Right.
Kenneth, you know.
Oh, man, I hope not. But, right.
Something with a K.
Right. Yeah, like, my name starts with... So I'm Ken. All right, Ken.
Kamala. What was he, though? You're right. But maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're right. That's Christian Okoye. How was time?
But Francis Ngannou, my goodness.
So right, and I'm excited because he looked like a killer from what I saw him training.
He is,
and like even watching, who's the guy he fought, the Russian guy?
Andrei Arlovski.
Yeah, thank you. So, I was feeling bad for him watching this pre-show.
You knew it was going to be bad.
Have you seen this guy? Like, I get, like, he's a bad man too. But the problem was he was a bad man like 10 years ago.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
This guy, I felt bad. Like, I was already feeling really bad. So, and I think that's what happened. So I'm excited to still see that one, too.
Well, the UFC likes to sacrifice their older fighters to
okay, you still want to fight? Okay.
That's like a thing they do.
If that's what you want.
They just sacrificed BJ Penn the other day.
Oh, right, that's right.
To some young guy, Yair Rodriguez.
Right.
I mean, that was bad.
These old guys are like, I really just want to fight again. Like, okay.
You know what you have to do. We got to kill it for you.
Right.
But yeah, this dude you're talking about, Ngannou, is like... I think they call him the Predator. I mean, he kind of resembles the Predator.
Okay.
Minus the funky looking teeth.
Right.
But,
he's not an alien.
But the same build.
But, right.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So when they make new Predator movies, he could just be it and put a mask on him? Is that what you're saying?
And I don't even think he really saw Arlovski. He just saw his body heat. He just attacked him in the ring. You know what I mean?
Like, I have to make that cold.
I mean,
all he knows.
He should have covered himself in mud before he came out.
Ooh, I would have been into that.
Come on, kill me, I'm here. That's my crappy Arnold impression.
That was really good. I can't do it at all. So you're the winner there. But no, that's perfect. But right, no, he looks like he's legit. And in reading, I read a couple of things after that said if he gets the belt, he could hold it for a while.
Like, oh yeah, definitely.
And I liked hearing him talk because I heard him while he walked into the gym. He's like, so he just walked into a gym one day and was like, I want to be the next Mike Tyson. And they're like, okay. Like, great. Just walking down the street. Make me Mike Tyson. So they started working on it, like, so you can do better than Mike Tyson because, right. I mean, and I know it's kind of a recent thing, just in far retrospect for Mike Tyson, and I hope he doesn't hear this. I think he could still do some work on me for sure, but I'm not sure Mike Tyson had a great chin.
No, and you were completely right about that. You have a great point.
Is it bad that I'm a little scared to say that? Because there is a chance that actually gets to him somehow.
Right, don't want to say his name like 3 times.
Right.
But you're right. I mean, he was knocking people's blocks off for so long that his chin never really got tested.
I think that's kind of what it was. So maybe it's not that it wasn't strong. It was he never had to know.
But when it did get tested, it
wasn't good.
Laying on the ground with his mouthpiece hanging out.
Looking really bad and trying to bite people. Like, he was at a loss. Like, and that was some dark time for me, man. I love Mike Tyson so much.
Right.
I cried when Buster Douglas knocked him out. Like, I had to leave right away. I was with a bunch of dudes. We were all being tough, watching boxing on, like, somebody's black box, like...
Somebody's...
Yeah, so, like, we're doing something vaguely illegal. We're watching Mike Tyson
you're the baddest.
Kill somebody. Like,
your testosterone level
is way
up
25 dudes. Right. Man, I had to leave.
It's tough. It's like you're the grandma watching your grandson get knocked out.
Michael. Right, that's so sad.
Oh, right. So he wants to be more than Mike Tyson,
and I mean, and you look. I think he can. Like I mean, obviously he's not a boxer, but and they meant that he can do more than just boxing, because boxing's kind of dead. UFC's where it's at. That's what they meant.
Right.
But that's what made me start thinking about poor Mike and his
glass jaw.
Oh,
but yeah, that's an excellent point. I never even thought about that. So just brought that up.
Poor Mike. I'm just feeling bad for people. This isn't how the podcast is supposed to. I feel bad for Cerrone, Grandma Cerrone and Mike Tyson. I don't feel so bad for Cowboy Cerrone, because he should have known better. Like,
right.
That's no good. But
he had like 40 fights UFC. Like, you have to know by now that.
Right. You can't. There's no one to take lightly. If they're in UFC, they're there to end your career. Like, they're there to hurt you. That's the point.
Nobody just luckily gets into the UFC. You
don't just fall into it.
No. Whoever it is has been assassinating people for a while.
Right. There's no walk-ons to the UFC. Yeah, right. I've been hanging out at the gym, and I don't know, I got a punching bag in my basement. I think, here comes the boom doesn't happen. Like, that's not real.
Boom.
Kevin James gets lit up by every guy that he steps in the ring with. Sorry.
Although Masvidal was fighting in backyard barbecues for a while in Miami.
Kimbo Slice style?
Kimbo Slice style.
Okay.
I love that. I just love the idea of somebody on a grill.
Yep.
Flipping burgers or something. And this two dudes just going at it.
He's like, hey, anybody want to fight? I'll knock you out. What?
Oh, man.
Yeah, the best part is that people take them up on it. Like, if somebody shows up at my barbecue and just wants to fight people, I'm not going to take him up on it, because he's probably pretty confident in what he's doing.
He likes the fight guy.
Right. That he's looking for fights. Likes the fight guy generally will fight if seriously provoked. This guy's just actively looking for fights. Right?
He must be good at it.
Right. Exactly. Good at fighting guy and likes to fight guy in one.
That's a problem.
That's a serious problem, because there's plenty of likes to fight guys that don't actually know how to fight. They're just so crazy that they get by with that.
Right.
They're like on at the Tyson
if
effect.
The average person is 5 steps away from being in a fight. Likes to fight guy is only 2 steps.
Right. He's ready.
He's just a look and a comment away from. You want to do this?
Right. Because it's not a question to him once the switch is flipped.
Right.
Like, oh, you want to fight? Okay, let's go. And then the other guy's like, whoa, wait, what are you doing? You pretty much just told me you want to fight.
Right.
No, I didn't.
I
didn't at all.
You have a problem, so I'm assuming that means you must want to fight.
So that's how we fight.
Right.
Which brings us back. Right. That's the whole Viking mentality. I get it. I see where it comes from. I don't do it.
Right, you have something I want, you won't give it up. So you must want to fight to the death.
Or you were just being mean to me a little. So I will crank that up, and we'll just cut to the chase, and we fight about it.
Right, I'm gonna stick an axe in you.
Right. Let's just punch this out and not talk it out, because if there's a problem, let's just cut to the chase here. Let's go. Likes to fight, yeah, right. That's likes to fight guy.
Good stuff. So how often are we going to be doing this?
All right, so we're going to shoot for monthly to start, and if we, if it's easy or we like how it's rolling, then we can always decrease. But to start, yeah, we're going to try for monthly.
Sounds good.
I'll try to get them out on the first of the month every month, so everybody knows. And yeah, we'll cover.
I like stuff that. I mean, it's manly.
Right.
Really, I mean.
Right. Are we definitely the most manly dudes? Probably not, but we have a good awareness of what men should be like, and
right.
we've walked around the earth long enough and kind of grown out of our knuckleheadness enough to now, in retrospect, see how.
And we have a long man list that we can.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's definitely
that over the next few months we can kind of elaborate on.
Right. We can unpack that for quite a while.
There's a lot to unpack.
Yeah. But right, I feel like that's where we're coming from here, and we'll help some people. We want well-rounded, manly people, basically. Nobody wants. It goes back to the jack of all trades, masters of none. We don't want specialists. We want everybody to be well-rounded.
Right.
And you have to know a little bit of everything, because
we're not specialists, and I can't sit and talk about anything for longer than an hour. Now, I don't know enough about anything in particular.
Right? But I know a little bit about a lot of stuff.
Right.
So we'll get into all that kind of stuff. We'll probably always have to talk about UFC or NFL or whatever's current,
right.
Super Bowl is this week.
It's just fun. It's fun to talk about people killing each other.
Right. Stuff is, it's fun to talk about really bad men.
And we like crappy movies too. Well, I do. Will has better taste than me, that's for sure. So
right, but
we'll see where that leads.
We'll round that out too. I don't know. I've been dipping into some bad things.
Some Vin Diesel.
Right, up until very recently, all I knew Vin Diesel for was the Iron Giant, and I knew he was Groot. Those are both voice parts. And then I saw the pacifier because I have 4 kids.
Right, and that's bad even by his standards.
So, right, I know it's not good.
So maybe we can get you up to date on some Dominic Taganetti, I think his name is, from Fast and Furious.
I don't know anything about any of those. I haven't seen any Pitch Blacks. I feel like that's all. That's like everything, right?
Pretty much. Because you got to figure Fast and Furious took about 10 movies, or close to 10 movies, so that's a good chunk of his acting career.
Yeah, I looked it up. 10 is announced, so they're gonna just keep rolling those out.
You gotta be kidding me.
So I don't know, there's 7 now, or the 7's coming out. Is 7 out? Fast 7 came out or is coming out, whatever it is.
But it's out, I think Fast 8 is
7.
Yeah. 7
is what, 3 Pitch Blacks or 2 Pitch Blacks?
2 that I know of. Yeah, Pitch Black, and then Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So
and then
that's 10 movies. I did see Last Witch Hunter very recently, which kind of brought something we might do.
That's a whole podcast in itself,
right? But it might be a segment we pull out where I go in depth about these movies, because I was so disappointed. I don't know.
To hear you talk about the movie and just to hear your exasperation and dismay.
I don't know what I expected.
It's comical to me.
Obviously gave Vin Diesel a lot more credit than he should have. But it's funny because, even though I haven't really seen any of his movies, I get what he's about. I get Vin Diesel, and it's good. But man, you got to stay in your lane.
Yes.
And not try to be this smooth guy. I didn't get it. I get it. He's like a Dungeons and Dragons nerd. I'm cool with that because he's a big muscle guy. So he's he's our demographic. We want that guy.
Right.
I get all that.
And but that was a shock to me.
Yeah.
He was a D&D guy.
So we'll get it, because I have lots of friends that play Dungeons and Dragons even still, or games like it anyway. And I'll get down on it once in a while. And so I found what I learned was Calder, who's the character in it, is actually based off of his character. So
okay.
And I don't know what I expected it to be, but less talk and more action, definitely. But I don't know. I mean, it was okay, but I didn't get it. I just didn't get it. And I felt like the biggest problem I had was that there was no opposing physical force for him to have to fight. It was a little girl who was a witch he had to fight.
But see, that's the problem. Yeah, Vin Diesel has to have
somebody.
Right.
I get that he had a sword that was on fire. That's cool. and it looked good. Like CGI is easy now.
There's gotta be a nemesis. There's gotta be a huge dude too.
He needed to have some kind of lieutenant,
right?
That he had to get through first. Like I don't know, just it was too easy, and then he's not like I don't know. It didn't work. It didn't work for me.
It got too cute. Yeah,
I guess, and like I don't know. Maybe he is that guy. I don't know. I didn't feel like he should be that smooth or even trying. Like it didn't work.
Right, just stick with what works for you.
Right, like I feel like you're a big, strong guy who punches people out and drives fast cars. All right. Like they could have put a car chase in there or something. I don't know.
That's right. It was set during like the modern.
It was modern.
Okay.
But he was immortal. So he's been alive for hundreds of years, killing witches. All right. I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like I should give it all away. But then again, I feel like it doesn't matter. So I don't know how that goes. But yeah, that could be a thing. I could break down
some Vin Diesel movies.
Bad movies, as I like to call them. Because I know you're a connoisseur of them.
Yeah, good bad movies. There's a bunch of them.
Right.
I mean,
I don't know.
That's still kind of a hard thing for me to define. I guess my favorite good bad movie would be Roadhouse.
And I know you're a big Point Break guy.
Point Break for sure.
So P. Swizzle is your guy.
Patrick
Swayze.
But I guess a good bad movie is really a movie that, I mean, it's most people, the general public would call it a bad movie, but it's so bad in a way that it's almost good.
That it's good, right?
It becomes like a cult classic, I guess.
And that's
I don't know.
Like, and those are things like there's a reason that Roadhouse you can find it on TV like almost any time on channel.
There's still an audience for it.
You can find these movies. They're the ones that stand up.
Because I mean, he's a nationally known bouncer.
That's not even a real thing.
I'm sorry, a cooler.
He's a cooler, right?
Right.
I mean, right.
That's amazing.
Right.
Like he's known.
He's known for
bouncing
people.
people.
But he's not. Like Vin Diesel was a real bouncer. I get it. Look at him. It's Patrick Swayze.
Right. He was like 5'8", 140 in that movie, wasn't he?
Feathered hair.
The hair was on point though.
But.
No doubt.
Right. Like, I feel like he was good because everybody underestimated him. I don't know.
Yeah, there was that for sure. But, I mean, he was a legit ninja, too, though, wasn't he? Like, he was studying martial arts and the whole thing.
Right.
Right, he tore my boy's neck. It's clean out at the end, like, in front of his girl. And her reaction was awesome because she was basically like, you're a jerk. You tore that dude's neck out, you jerk.
Right. I mean, I don't know. And I don't remember it well enough.
I could talk about that movie for hours.
That's tough to me, but okay. Maybe we can get another Roadhouse expert.
That's a whole podcast.
We can have a third man in for that one. And I'll just moderate. Or I could watch it again. The only thing I ever remember is the guy driving, the Shaboom Shaboom guy.
Brad Wesley.
Yeah, just owning the whole lane.
Shaboom.
When I had my big green LHS, I thought I would do that. And
I remember you getting to work a few days.
Drive people off the road. And
Shaboom.
He just owns the town. I get it.
He like runs Dalton off the road, and he just kind of smirks and laughs.
Is that like his first encounter with him? Like,
I think so.
Is that like Dalton driving into town and that happened?
Yeah, he's swerving through both lanes.
I mean, right? That's the stuff that makes it good. Like, they could. I don't know. Did they make that movie thinking we're making something great? Like, that's what I always think. Like. They couldn't have thought, like, they're getting Oscars out of it. Like, even reading the script, like...
They're getting Oscars.
Like, right? Like, we're not going for...
No, we're not going for that. We're shooting lower.
Right. But it's going to be good. Like, because the concept is good. I feel like it's... In my brain, Patrick Swayze will hold it back. But if he's good, he's good. I don't know. Maybe I should give him a chance. I mean, Point Break's good. And that has two... It's funny, because it has both of the guys. There's two guys I have trouble with... in tough guy roles, and it's Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze. not that they were that tough in Point Break, so maybe that's why. Like Patrick Swayze is kind of, I don't know.
Why do you have a problem with Keanu Reeves being in a tough guy role? And I already think I know the answer to it because it's the answer everyone has.
Because he's Bill and Ted.
Right. It's funny. It's funny.
All I
Everyone
see.
says that.
It's all I see. It's all I hear.
I was just talking with my brother-in-law about that, and he said the same thing.
It's all I see. I don't know why.
He's like, whoa.
Right. Like, whenever he talks, he's an idiot. Like,
even though he was Neo and John Wick.
I need to see John Wick. I've heard that's legit.
He's a bad dude in that, too.
Right.
Like, real bad.
I saw The Matrix, and it's hard for me.
You can't shake Ted Theodore Logan.
I really can't.
Bill S. Preston Esquire. Why was he an Esquire? Was he a lawyer?
That's awesome. No.
Did he pass the bar or something? Like, pretty sure he couldn't even pass history. Why was he? Why is there? Isn't it Esquire? Why is he Esquire?
I don't know. Sounds good. They were rock stars. I don't care.
Oh man.
But yeah, that's kind of. That's yeah. So. Right, but that's definitely a thing for me, and I don't know. So yeah, John Wick, maybe that's the next one I need to watch.
Yeah. I'm actually curious to see what you would think about it, because
all I've heard is great things about it.
That has potential to let you down, though.
It does.
So
build it up. The more you build it up, the more
I'm going to be building up for the next month.
You want deflated reviews from me, like,
that could be part of our next
because right, I've learned, this is another thing I've had to learn over lots of years, is to always assume it's not going to be that good, so that I can only be happy at the end, like, it was actually good.
And I'm good for building things up that aren't as good as they really are.
I used to, and then I would be let down, like, man, that was terrible. I can't believe.
Like Crow Donuts. Man, I built those up to be something they weren't.
You really did.
And
that was going to be awesome.
And we both had them, and like,
right.
Still just a donut.
We both got up. We were excited. It was March Madness, right? We had both worked the night before, like going on like 4 hours of sleep, getting up at the crack of dawn to watch, Richmond play IUPUI or like some
Dayton Flyers,
right?
Kansas,
yeah. Kansas State Golden Flashes and the Dayton Flyers.
Crow Donuts.
Got some Crow Donuts. We're like, this is gonna be legit. It's a donut.
That's it. Just a little bigger.
A little bigger.
All right, I can build things up, so I'll build up John Wick. All
right.
Let's see where that goes next time.
So that's my mission for next month. So yeah, I'll find out about some John Wick. We'll see. So real quick, you got. So what do you think? Super Bowl Patriots?
Quick prediction.
It's tough. We didn't get into our fandom, which we will eventually, but you're not a Patriots guy, even though you're from Rhode Island. So we don't have to explain that right now.
That's a
little cliffhanger for y'all to come back to.
I'm a Bears fan, but I don't. I'm going to have to go with the Patriots. You just can't go with them against them at this point. I'm going to say 24-13 Patriots. And 2 weeks to prepare. I don't see anyone stopping the Patriots.
Yeah. I have a feeling if it's low scoring, it's definitely Patriots. Like the Falcons can only run with them if they're just shooting it out. Right. And then it's in the 30s and 40s. Which I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah, it'd be fun to watch.
And like I don't know if this whole referee in Goodell's back pocket scenario happens and there's a couple of phantom holding calls or some pass interference on some Julio Jones bombs that keep some Falcons drives going. I mean, I don't know what Goodell's really capable of, but I feel like that's not a far step. So
no, not at all.
There's like 3 or 4 bad calls and the Falcons win. So
that could change.
I mean,
and I'm not even a Pats fan, but I can honestly say I think that there's a chance the NFL might not let the Pats win
a little bit.
Right. Like I think we were talking before, and if Goodell doesn't like the Patriots enough to suspend their quarterback for 4 weeks, it's not too far of a jump for him to, try and have the refs.
He doesn't even have to. It's like we were saying it before. He doesn't actually say it. He just kind of infers it. If the refs go with it, they go with it. I don't know. Right. If they start really jumping on Malcolm Butler because he's all over getting handsy on Julio Jones like he was with Antonio Brown, then they're in trouble.
Right.
I mean, if they let him play like they usually do in the Super Bowl, then I think that's definitely advantage Patriots. They're definitely more physical. They definitely have the better defense. The Falcons have been playing better lately, but
But talent-wise, they're not there. Not
defensively, they're both going to be prepared. They're both good teams. I mean, so I don't know. Matt Ryan's playing out of his head a little bit, I think, but he is a good quarterback. It's not like he's bad.
No.
He's not. I don't know. So, right. I mean, I'm still going Patriots. I just feel like they'll find a way. And I feel like, it might be where they beat the Falcons and the refs, but it could happen. I mean, and they can do it, and Brady can do it. And it's not even a blind. I'm not even a blind Patriots fan. I just feel like they're just better.
Way more talent.
Yeah, and they killed the Steelers. It wasn't as close as the score.
No, not at all.
And I mean, Roethlisberger's a good quarterback, so I don't know. I feel like they got it.
Pat's got it.
So
tune in. Check us out next month.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll wrap it there. We'll see you soon.
All right. Later.